Hello and welcome to Polar Painting and Gaming. I'm Kyle. I'm joined by Steven. Hello, Steven.
Hello, Kyle.
We're just doing a quick, maybe not so quick, we're doing a dive of the city-states army rules after the update of September 2025. Just hadn't seen anyone go through this, and I wanted an opportunity to do it. I think it's just fun to do. So, without further ado, let's jump into it.
Yes, sir.
So, first thing is we've got auxiliary stands. If you're not familiar with city-states, some of the regiments can have a mixed stand, be it a Minotaur or Sacred Band. So, this is an addition to the regiment, allows you to do some pretty cool stuff. Usually, just increases the output of the regiment and sometimes gives them some wounds. The Sacred Band let you spellcast onto the regiment. That's currently all there is for auxiliary stands right now. Nothing crazy.
Hopefully it comes more.
There is.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Honestly, I still think Sacred Band is probably the best one.
They offer the most interesting thing.
It's not even because of their rules, like the Sacred Warriors part. I think it's strictly because, like, for 10 points more in FLNGDs, you get Cleave 2 and 5 attacks.
Yeah.
Or for Agama, it's the exact same. It's the exact same point cost.
Yeah,
for
it's
a
kind
stand.
of odd how cheap they are to add into the Agama. That's the prices are another stand. Why would you not if you're adding another stand?
100%.
I guess if you don't have the models and you're playing in a tournament. But otherwise, why aren't you taking that auxiliary in your Agama?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's the only thing that really sets them apart is their strange point cost and Sacred Warriors allowing you to target the regiment with some spells from other Sacred Band.
Yeah.
Strategic stack. So this has changed a little bit with the
Slightly.
September update. City-state, this is like their army rule, right? They get to basically stall for a turn. Instead of drawing your card normally, you place it into your separate strategic stack, which is another one card stack. And then later on, you can have a double activation. Previously it was you had to draw from your normal stack first, then you could draw the strat stack immediately after resolving that, giving you a double turn. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can draw the strat stack first and then the command stack. Am I mistaken, Steven?
I think you're correct.
I remember
That's
seeing
correct.
other people say that, and I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, makes sense." Yeah, you can draw from the stack. I'm reading it now. You can read along too with the PDF. If
Yep.
we say something stupid, call us out for it. Why not? But what I think is more important, well, first of all, more benefit to the strat stack other than a double turn. Your regiment counts as being inspired, always inspired specifically. So overrides any negative modifiers to inspired. You are always inspired.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there'll be other bonuses from your regiment, like Valangites get Aura of Death, or if you have a particular officer, it'll give another bonus. So what I think is a hugely significant change to this is the direct orders rule, which is saying when a regiment is activated as part of an entourage, so you draw your character first, and then draw the regiment that character is attached to, it counts as having been activated from the strategic stack. This is very interesting.
It's funny how one sentence can change the entire way an army plays.
Yes. So
And this is what I've been wanting.
I I'm mixed on this. Um, Before the update, city states were starting to get more and more things baked into. If you activate from strategic stack, you get benefit, and that was very akin to the Wadroon chant mechanic, except city states could only strat stack once per round, whereas Wadroon could theoretically chant 3, 4 times
Endlessly.
a turn. Um,
Yeah.
so I didn't like that, and I I don't like the direction this takes the faction. I like how it lifts up the faction, especially things that were not necessarily being used, like bricks of Palangites and hoplites. This is beneficial to them. However, what I think is an unforeseen side effect of this is it is going to encourage um, character and regiment spam
To an
because
extent.
yeah, like it's not like a sudden I win against everything mechanic. It's not that simple, but um, coming out of or starting to come out of high activation meta where you've got 12, 13, 14 cards in your command stack. This doesn't contribute to that. This encourages you to stay high activation,
It
in my opinion.
I don't know. There's I could see a combination of both. It wants you to. I think what it really points out to is it wants you to find that careful balance between high activation and character limitation, because you want to have a nice entourage interactions without sacrificing too many activations. But you also have to worry about, like, before this rule came out, you had like usually 3 or 4 things in an army that would fight for the strat stack
Right.
that you'd want to depend on the strat stack. Now you can actually spread those 3 or 4 things and have 5-ish things that could potentially be in there, and it gives more strategic flexibility to the army, which I think is originally where the army should have been going. Especially in the cases of like the infantry defensive line. Like, honestly, competitively, as much as I'm a casual player, like, competitively, you didn't see like the defensive line for city states the way it was kind of intended to play. You
Right.
saw your lists with 8 chariots or Thorikidi spam and things like that. And yes, some of the rules changed to get rid of it, get rid of the light scoring, but this helps kind of make it more of a character centric block friendly army.
Right.
And I that's part of the reason why I like it. It helps get away from the band-aid that the Talos and the Chariots were, in my
Right.
opinion.
So yeah, real quick, you brought up a point that I meant to say at the beginning. Steve and I's playstyle varies quite a bit. Part of the reason I wanted to have this conversation with you. I tend to enjoy the tournament scene a lot more. Steven, you're generally pretty happy to just play casually, right?
Yeah, I can play competitively, but just had bad history with it all, so just prefer to play casually and roll dice.
Yep. But we have gone to tournaments together. It's not like you don't
Yeah,
ever play in tournaments. It's just
no,
that's generally my preference versus yours. So we're going to see this a little differently at times.
I mean the one we went down to in Georgia, you placed first, and I was second, I
Yeah, I
think.
think so.
Yeah,
Um,
with our different lists. So
very different. Yeah, I think I was still running 8 chariots. I love chariots. They're
I'm pretty sure you ran 8 chariots during that.
All right, getting into, unless you have more to say about that, getting into supremacy abilities.
No, I'm good on that.
Cool. Mechanist. He's kind of indirectly got a nerf. Previously, he let clockwork hoplites be mediums, and if you activated a card from the strat stack, he made them hardened +1. He just lost half his ability because clockwork hoplites are now just mediums. So
I
indirectly a downgrade to the supremacy itself.
I see it more of a side grade.
Yeah,
Um,
it's kind of awkward to
I
quantify.
like the way his works because you reveal it before you put it in strat stack, saying, "Hey, this regiment gets hardened +1."
Hmm.
I like that. Um, because it kind of forces your opponent to be like, do I want to go into that now? Because it's up to a maximum of 2. Harden 2 on something that's like defense 3 with a shield, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to get through. So I don't think it's as good as the others.
No, but
It's
it's not
definitely the
bad
lesser
though.
of the 4. It's just not. I don't think it's bad. It's a weird side grade, in my opinion.
Yeah. Um, so part of why I'd say it's kind of a downgrade. This one specifically requires it to be in your strategic stack. It's not. You can't direct orders this.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, you didn't have direct orders previously, but you could have before.
If we had it beforehand, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
probably a good thing that you can't direct orders this, but
I think
it
it is a good thing that you can't, because Harden +1 on top of Entourage, like that's. Oh, hey, I'm gonna just activate my Aura Death Phalangites and charge at you. By the way, they're Harden +1.
yeah,
Mm,
it's just
I mean,
it's
granted, it's
very
not in his
little.
warband, but it's still. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just going to see it's very little compared to the other
Yeah.
supremacies. Not bad on its own,
Oh, I said
but
4. I meant 5. I forgot the Promethean Oracle for some reason.
oh yeah. So the Polemarch. So his regiment gets +1 to its clash with maximum of 4 and tenacious 1. In addition, so this is new, friendly regiments within 10 inches of the warlord may re-roll unmodified morale rolls of 6. So that's always active. And then he's got a battlefield segment. Once per game, before players roll for priority, reveal the top card of your command stack. If that command card is a Polemarch, not the warlord necessarily, the player may choose to automatically win this priorities round. I so I had to chew on the update for a little while before I came to any conclusion about what I liked. I am solidly in the camp that this is the strongest warlord trait uh, because it has an always
Hey,
active that is throughout the game,
really good.
and it has you just win priority.
I as crazy as it might sound, and yes, I'm partially biased because city states are my favorite, and I've always loved the Polemarch. Um, I think it's honestly not necessarily the always active part, but just the battlefield, the once per game, is probably arguably one of the strongest supremacy abilities in the game
I think so.
across all factions. Just being
Yeah.
able to be like, no, I'm going first, period. Like that's huge on like a
Yeah.
linchpin turn. That could
Yes.
be insane because you could prep yourself up immediately using one of the later abilities we'll go over. But you could prep yourself up and then immediately flip into it and just be like, no, I'm going first. And by the way, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like there's huge benefits to it.
Yeah. Winning. I would say that winning a single priority is not going to win you the game, but a
No,
well-timed uh, winning of of a supremacy roll is incredibly impactful.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people claim that, oh, the game came down to supremacy roll. It didn't come down to the supremacy roll. It came down to the actions leading up to that supremacy roll, and then the
Usually the turn before.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's where I'm coming up with this, because like, and it's not even saying like you have to go first. It's saying you just win the roll. So if you prep yourself right, you could just be like, no, I win. You're going first.
yeah, I think that'll be
It,
more rare,
it
but
definitely
still
rare, but
interesting.
just the thing that you can do with it is be like, there's so much flexibility in it, and just being able to just win. Period. No roll of the dice, nothing. Just win.
Yep.
And you could prep yourself up over the course of even the previous 2 turns to activate this on like turn 4, turn 5, and just you could spearhead into something so hard.
Yeah.
So I love the polemarch. I've always loved the polemarch though. So it's yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how the supremacy's changed to the point because he used to just have an always active part. He didn't have
He
he didn't
always had he always had this always active part.
right, but he didn't have like a, if you pop from the strat stack, here's the benefit he gives, whereas
He
the
didn't have
Aristarch did,
anything
the Mechanist did. So he was just a static, a passive.
similar to the Aparcos, yeah.
Yeah,
It was only, I think it was the update before this in April that they added the reroll of 6,
yeah, that's
if
pretty
I
new.
remember right. Um,
I
it's
thought it
still
was this
new.
update, but like I also just haven't given any thought to the Polymark competitively before this
I'll
update.
be honest to this, like his morale is so high, and usually in the regiment he's in, it's already in a block for me. So I typically pass, so I don't even think about rerolling 6s.
Right.
It's usually 1 or 2 extra wounds, which at that point I usually don't care. So
Yeah.
I always forget about that part.
Yeah, he's not going to be losing a lot of troops to morale other than into terrifying.
Honestly, even then, I'm usually at like a resolve 6 or 7
Right.
with him. So unless it's like terrifying 3 and I've already lost a couple of stands,
Right.
I, I don't have many issues.
All right.
But
Getting
yeah,
into the Aristarch. This one is a bit of a wild card to me. And I don't care for it much. So he's got always active, which is also a once per game. It's kind of
this is a
awkwardly.
weird wording. I don't like the way they worded this.
Yeah, they changed it a couple times last minute um,
Yeah.
because it functioned differently than I think they intended.
Yeah.
So once per game, at the beginning of a round's reinforcement phase, the player may decide to re-roll all failed reinforcement rolls made during that reinforcement phase. So it was changed to always active so that he wouldn't have to be on the battlefield. That because I think originally it was a battlefield tag.
I think so. I think it did originally have the battlefield tag, and they
So he
changed
had
it
to
to
be
always
on the
active
battlefield
because of that.
already, which kind of
Mhm.
devalued it a little bit. Now it's just you can do it anytime.
I honestly, I hate to say it. I feel like it's a trap for newer people,
I
especially
agree.
newer folks in city states. It's not as bad as the Mechanist, in my opinion, but it's definitely down there. It just feels so much like a trap
Yeah,
because
yeah,
if
yeah,
you're, I don't know, if you're relying on a specific reinforcement roll, unless you somehow, and I've had this happen, unless you're like going into turn 3 or start of turn 3 and you've failed all your medium rolls
yeah.
in the previous turn and you have like 7 or 8 mediums to roll for. Maybe, but
Right.
usually on 4s, you're gonna have at least half of them come in.
Yeah, I think part of what makes this a new player trap is it's before you make the roll you have to declare it. So you can't
And
even wait
that,
to see what the result is. You just have
I
to
think that's
anticipate.
the
So you
And
could
I
you could
think
use
that's
it
the
on turn
biggest problem.
two for all your mediums and reroll into more nothing. Um,
Yeah,
Statistically, that's not very likely, but it's dice, and I
dice
think you have to
be
be
dice.
a good player. You have to build your list with the reinforcement curve in mind, and you have to be able to flex around bad reinforcement rolls. So
You,
this is meant to mitigate that clearly, but
yeah, I think the biggest differentiation between like a newer to tabletop, newer to the army, and newer and like just like a veteran player in general is how they try and mitigate the dice rolling. Period.
yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing here, and that's why I feel like this is a trap for newer people.
yeah. The one like potential build I see with this is a heavy skew, like you're 4+ heavies, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get some of them on turn three. Like
I mean, I
maybe,
guess I that's the list I brought down to Georgia. I had four heavies, four mediums, and yeah, I wasn't like being active on the table until like turn 5 and 6, and all my games I was coming from behind. But most of my opponents couldn't counter the amount of, I wouldn't say pain I was bringing, because it was Sacred Band and a Talos for
right?
my heavies. So there was just a lot of support and flexibility in it.
Yeah,
So that's why I feel like it's not as bad as the Mechanist, and bad in terms of like Mechanist is still decent.
yeah,
Um, it, I can see it being useful in some cases.
yeah. And it does have a second part.
Mostly, yeah, mostly because of the second part is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
There's what
activated
I was getting to.
until the end of the round, the battlefield order that Aristarch is selected affects all friendly non-monster regiments on the battlefield. So he gives everybody bravery, or he gives them untouchable.
Yeah, I think I could see it being more useful with bravery against like Old Dominion. Untouchable.
Untouchable's
Most of
fine.
the things you're going to be rerolling on or wanting the rerolls on already have a high defense.
Yeah.
So it's not a big thing.
However, there is
Um,
kind of another caveat to this. He has to issue the order.
yes,
So,
he has
in
to be
order to
first.
get use out of this, yeah, you've got to use him first. Um, Now, unlike the Polemarch um, battlefield, where it says if a command card is a Polemarch, this one says the battlefield order the Aristarch.
Yes.
So I believe the intent is that this is specifically the Warlord. So you can't just use any Aristarch. It has to be your Warlord Aristarch issuing this
Yeah.
order. So that is incredibly limiting on your flexibility on whatever's going on with the table.
Which honestly, I don't think that's too much of an issue, because bringing two Aristarchs is, you're kind of limiting yourself, or
Yeah,
honestly
you're
hurting yourself.
probably not doing that, but it does limit that possibility.
Yes. Yeah. It definitely does.
Um, Eparchos. This has not changed. When a friendly cavalry or chariot regiment in this army engages an enemy in its flank or rear, it gains impact +2 and terrifying 1. In addition, the enemy regiment engaged in such a way does not count towards seizing. Um, this is fine if you build a skew. If
Yeah.
your entire army is cavalry and chariots, this is fine.
Mhm.
I've
Yep.
I've done it
I
for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely up there with the Polymark. It's not as good, but it's definitely good.
I would say
I think
you have to understand how to position your chariots to
it is
create as
huge with
many
positioning.
anvils
Hmm.
in such a way that you gain a flank charge with your cavalry.
And this
If
is
you
where
don't know how
you've
to do that,
gotten really
stand
good
your
at it.
chance.
Yeah, you've gotten really good at this, like the timing of when you need to sacrifice a chariot. And I think that's the biggest weakness of some of the players that try and do something like this. They're not willing to sacrifice their chariots,
Yeah,
but they're also only bringing 3 or 4.
yeah,
They're not bringing 8 chariots and four regiments of companion cav.
yeah. And
They're
also
just bringing.
previously, I'd seen this warlord in a mixed list of chariots, cav, and monsters. So they'd have the Promethean Oracle with the Promethean, maybe a Hephaestion and a Talos, and then the Parkos warband, maybe another small warband. It's just like
It's not.
you have to commit hard to this for it to be
Yeah.
effective.
If you were gonna do any sort of mixing, it'd be probably an Aristarch with like Phalangites and Hoplites, or just straight up Hoplites, honestly.
Yeah,
Because the hold on Hoplites,
yeah,
mixed with that,
that'd be
that'd be
really powerful.
amazing. Which we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But I
Promethean,
think that's
sorry,
that'd be it.
Promethean Oracle, bringing back the Children of the Fire. Always active, friendly Titan regiments gain Priest +3. In addition, when a Titan activates from the strat stack, counts as 6 stands for the purpose of seizing until the end of the round.
Yeah, I don't think this has changed since he's been released.
No, so if you want to do Monster Mash, this is one of the warlords for it.
And honestly, City States is probably the best one for Monster Mash right now,
Yeah, absolutely.
especially with the points drops recently.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't particularly care for Monster Mash, so I don't
Same.
really have a lot to say about this other than I've seen it a couple times. Well, I don't even
Seen
know if
it.
I've seen this warlord all that much. Like usually it's a different warlord.
Um, One of our members was using it
Yeah.
pretty
I think that's the
consistently.
only time I've seen Oracle Warlord.
I think so. I think so because I don't even have the model because I just do not like his stance.
Well, there was another
I love the
time.
model itself, but the stance is just.
Yeah, yeah, the stance is weird. There was another time, but it's been brought up enough, and I won't get into it.
Yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I'm sure most of the people that see this will as well.
Yeah, so no need to hash that up again. It's a dead horse.
Yeah,
All right, characters. Um, I don't intend to go super deep into these necessarily.
I
Just like
don't
quick
think we'll
coverage.
need to. I think it's
So
funny that it starts with the Eidolon,
yeah, Eidolon. You take an Eidolon if you want Inquisitors.
and that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Well,
People try to put him like with Clockwork Hoplites and stuff, which is okay. But
I just feel like he doesn't offer anything for them.
yeah, especially with the changes to Mechanist and the battlefield orders, which we'll get into a little more. So yeah, he's offering Dark Hand of the Skull Eye. He targets a regiment on the battlefield. All your Inquisitors get Terrifying 2 against that regiment until it dies, and then you can pick a new one if you're able to.
Yep.
So
I, I will say with an Inquisitor spam list, having 2 of these
yeah, it's
would be
kind of fun.
nice. Um,
You
and
start running
honestly,
into the issue of Old Dominion if you do
yeah,
that. So it's if you're playing competitively, you generally only want one.
yeah, I agree. I will say there's only one modification, in my opinion, that is worth on him, and that's the alternate programming.
And this is
But
where we
that's
disagree.
if, yeah, I mean that's if you want to change out Parry for Oblivious.
Let's skip to that real quick. Scrolling. Relics, modifications, alternate programming. So it changes. He gains access to regiment gets impact +1. Specifically, oh sorry, brutal impact +1. Brute regiment
Yeah,
gains brutal impact +1. Brute regiment gains oblivious, and he gains cleave +3. As opposed to his normal, scrolling back, almost there. His normal +5 attacks at a -1 evasion. Who cares unless you're dueling?
yeah,
Regiment gains parry or he gains cleave +3. So he's maintaining cleave +3 throughout. Um, I don't think Oblivious is worth the parry and +5 attacks.
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying the only one I think is worth on him would be that.
See, I think it's not worth it all. I think you're paying to make him worse. So,
I don't know. I've run Oblivious with Inquisitors. It makes crazy staying power for them.
yeah,
Crazy staying power because they already have a really high resolve.
yeah.
On top of his already being 4.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't disagree that Oblivious is a good thing. I just think the basic is better. Um, yeah, he takes a bunch of stuff: Thorkeys, Hoplites, Clockwork Hoplites, Inquisitors for mainstay, Aspis, Promethean, Hephaestion. Warband is fine.
balanced Golai.
Yeah,
Well, minus Aspis. But yeah.
he can't be a warlord. Boo.
I mean, that's fine. He used to have the same one as the Mechanist. It was redundant.
I mean, I liked that
So,
better than nothing.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
So,
I would like to see more work on him because I love the Eidolon,
yeah.
the model. I love the lore behind this character. I
Yeah.
think it's just lackluster, but I also feel the
Speaking-
same way about Inquisitors in general. So,
speaking of lore, the reason he doesn't have a warlord trait is because, like, well, he's just a meat suit. He wouldn't lead an army, but he's a projection. So like the Spire's Avatara, a dude's mind is being projected into this body, and he's going out and fighting. He's clearly able to give orders to other Inquisitors in some way. And yet there's lore about the Iparkos being too reckless to be able to lead an army, but he has a warlord trait. So that's a little weird. Moving on.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Mechanist, one of the worst sculpts in the entire game. Man holding an iPad.
So sad.
I have opinions.
Yeah.
If you have opinions, comment. Is the Mechanist the worst character sculpt?
It's a tie, in my opinion. I do not like the chapter mage. I hate the chapter mage.
It's so weird to me. Like, she's not
No,
she's not bad.
She's not. I'm just saying, like, across the line, I generally enjoy most of the scopes PB has done.
Yeah.
But the chapter mage, it doesn't. It just screams like, oh, here's this desk like secretary lady. Like, it's not. It's just not a mage to me.
Yeah.
But the Mechanist is. So for those that don't know, the lore behind the Mechanist is he carries around this pad that helps him warp and shape reality and bends the laws of like reality, physics, and everything to his will. And he's just sitting there in very close to a T-pose stance, carrying this pad with him. And
go look it up on the eShop.
That also goes down into like, why is he priest 5?
Yeah. So getting into the actual mechanics of the character, he allows.
Why is he priest 5?
So if he's attached to Clockwork Hoplites, which I think is described on their entry, he allows them to be recipients of battlefield orders from the Aristarch and the Polemarch, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, he's got Priest 5. He does spells that generally only affect the Clockwork Hoplites. But he's Priest 5 and he's not devout. And his spells
fine
aren't
with
fantastic.
not being devout.
Well,
but
it just adds to the fact that he doesn't cast well. Because if he was Priest 5 and devout, that would make more sense. Like, oh, he's better at casting into his own regiment.
Let's go down to his spells real quick, because I know they changed some of his spells. I just haven't used them in so long.
Relics,
yeah, like
mastery, spells.
Iron Stride. The main one you're probably going to want to use, aside from Clockwork Parade,
It's attunement 2.
and range 8.
Yeah. The range can be forgiven. The attunement cannot, because he has. There's no way. There's no upgrades for him to get that allow him to modify his dice rolls or his spellcasting in any way. He's very limited on what upgrades he can get, and it's pretty bad.
The only way he can be buffed in any sort of way, if I remember right, is the Talos. Because if
Yeah,
I
the
remember
Talos
right,
is
Talos specifies just priest.
priest +1. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
it's
that
still
helps.
the Clockwork Parade. I like a lot.
Yeah, Clockwork Page is nice.
Really
City
good.
States have a lot of access to March +5 on their charges.
Yeah. Mostly because there's a lot of phalanx in a
Yeah.
lot of regiments. Which, for those that don't know the special rule, phalanx makes your charge strictly March +3. So it's not a huge charge range. And for most of the regiments, it is strictly just 8 inches.
Yeah.
So having this flexibility, which there is another way to do this, it's one of the upgrades, character upgrades. But being able to supersede phalanx, the range is really nice.
Yeah.
Aggression directive
That one's fine.
is
That's good.
it's
Plus
good.
flash.
It's fine. Especially on a regiment that has cleave 1 and flurry. I don't think they got rid of those, if I remember right.
Yeah. And then finally, Torque. Non-monster gets untouchable. So this used to change the weight class of the regiment, but they've nearly gotten rid of all light scoring. They've certainly gotten
Which
rid of all
I'm
the
fine with
elites.
that.
Yeah.
That's something I've been wanting. Something the game has been needing to do, in my opinion. Not just like competitively versus casually. It's strictly just the health of the game.
Yeah. Having more defined roles between
yes
regiment types.
Yeah. I don't personally like what they changed it to. I would have preferred something else.
Yeah, it's fine. It's bland.
It's fine. It's just not. I wouldn't cast it over one of the other 3. Any of the other 3.
Yeah, probably not.
I really just I don't see myself doing it. Because most of the time, if you're going to take in a mechanist, you're taking clockwork hoplites.
Yeah.
So you're either going to want to increase their charge range or increase their clash.
Yeah. I could see it if like you're being outdistanced by, say, cavalry that's coming down, and you're not gonna hit them first. This could help.
It could help, but I would warn on the side of caution because, again, if you're in clockwork hoplites, you're not worrying about resolve.
Yeah.
They already have a decent save, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
It's bland. It's not great. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
But compared to the other 3, it's just not.
It's attunement 4,
worthwhile.
so you'll probably cast it.
You'll probably cast it, opposed to attunement 2 Iron Stride.
Yeah.
As much as I would love it, that's painful.
All right. Is there anything else to cover on this nerd?
He has access to one of either a modification similar to the Eidolon, or he can take a relic. I think is a big thing to kind of point out with him because he has the option between the 2.
Yeah. Which they're not great for him. There's kind of like one that he wants to have, depending on.
And no masteries.
No masteries, but he gives unstoppable to his regiment. So that's nice. All the characters do now.
Yes, I'm glad that they attached that to all characters, especially the Aparcos. The Aparcos needed it so badly.
Yep. Palomar.
For those.
Oh, sorry.
Real quick, the reason I say that, for those that don't know, City States does not have access to Unstoppable. We have no banners, Nothing like that. I think. Well, sorry. Let me recorrect that. There is an upgrade on the Talos that allows unstoppable,
for monsters.
but for monsters. But generally speaking, unstoppable is nowhere to be found in the army.
Except on these characters now,
Yep,
which I think is what helps contribute to character spam now.
I agree. I could see it.
Direct
I
orders
definitely
combined
can.
with close the gap.
Yeah.
So Polemark, um, he's got flurry. He's got good attacks. No, no, no real special rules by default other than flurry. His mainly what you're looking at is his supremacy and his battlefield tactics. So he can do fight in the shade, target. So this used to be his own regiment. Now it's target friendly infantry regiment within 12.
Mhm.
So
That's both tactics and orders between the Polemark and Aristarch.
I think I use the term interchangeably, battlefield orders
I
for both
I
of them,
definitely do.
but they do have difference. So he gives when an enemy regiment targets the regiment, they reroll ones, hit rolls of one.
Mhm.
So nice against barrages. Or he's got come and get it regiment. They need to fix this wording. The regiment this character is currently attached to. Clearly, the intent is the target of this order or tactic,
Yeah.
but it still has the
Yeah.
old wording of the regiment the character stand is currently attached to.
I didn't notice that. That's funny.
They didn't either, as well as many other things.
Yeah,
Currently
that's
attached to
fine.
gain the unyielding. So unyielding meaning if you've got any stands on the zone, they can't seize it unless they have some sort of always seizing, which is rare.
And my personal favorite is the Fight in the Shade. I love forcing people to reroll the ones,
Yep, fight in the shade.
especially like Bow Chosen. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I rolled 10 ones. Reroll.
So with um, with changes to his supremacy, direct orders, I think come and get it has more value for me now.
It's definitely good.
Because I'm working. I have lists that run the Polemark and the Thorkides. They can't seize, but they can get their little toe on that zone and be come and get it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I can't seize because of one stand of Thorkides. Cool.
Yeah.
So this has a lot more value to me now than it did before.
I think also something to point out with him is one, he's not super expensive character wise, 90
No, he's really
points,
not.
especially when you look at his stat line, like Clash 3 with Flurry, 6 attacks, 4 wounds, generic, but resolve 4, and defense 3 with shield. Like, especially with some of the upgrades, he's not a pushover.
Yeah.
And with upgrades, he can have 2, I
Two
think, is
stone
the other big
dogs.
part.
And he could do combat masteries.
Yes. So he's not a pushover at all. But I like the flexibility that you can build him as well.
Yeah.
Because, like you were saying, you can set him up for the Thorikides
Hmm.
to be that line pusher and just forcing somebody to not score for a few turns.
Yeah. Aristarch. Very similar stat line. Doesn't have flurry. One less defense. His orders. He's got Arms of Steel, so Regiment gets Untouchable, and Hearts of Iron, Regiment gains Bravery.
Yep.
Both are fine. Untouchable typically gets used more.
Yep.
Bravery is
Oh,
far more situational.
yeah. I don't. I think the few times I run Aristarch, I use Untouchable.
Yeah, I think the only time I would use Hearts of Iron for Bravery is if I was um, trying to rally a regiment that was already broken before they activate, so that I have my
Yeah.
action economy. That's the only time I
Yeah.
see using that.
Um.
Or his Warlord ability. But again, same thing. I would probably
It'd be the same
default
thing.
untouchable unless I had broken regiments.
Hmm.
So
Um, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be untouchable aside from those couple of situations.
you know, he could take one relic.
Mhm.
What didn't go over the warband for the polemark. You can do that on your own. But where the Aristarch is more valuable to me is he can take chariots. The polemark cannot.
I, yeah, chariots and companion cav, I think should be pointed out.
Yeah.
And something interesting, in my opinion, is them moving Selenoid from restricted to mainstay
Mm.
a while back. But I think that gives a unique flavor with the Aristarch. Because with the Polymarch, the Selenoid is restricted, so it changes spots with the Agama.
It's because he's racist with
Um,
his goats.
yeah.
Hates the goat people.
But the Haspis are mainstays for the Polymarch, which is part of the reason why I like them.
Well, yeah, he loves cow. He hates goat.
Yeah.
Uh, Aristarch can take tactical masteries,
Yep.
which is far less important now. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Hipparchos. He's a horse character with insanely high defense for some reason. He has defense 4, whereas the companion calf have defense 2. Real
He
weird.
has really good defense. A
Yeah.
lot of attacks. Like, he's
He gained brutal 1.
crazy good.
Um,
And he has innate cleave 1, which I think is amazing. It took you a while to remember that.
yeah,
I remember that.
that. I had
That was
trouble
funny.
doing that a lot because it's like, oh, he's just like the boys. He's not just like the boys. He's better. He can take
Sure.
1 relic. He's got close the gap, very nice on companion calf. He can take Thor keys and hoplites. Why are you doing that with a Hipparchos?
Yeah.
He
I
just
wouldn't
wants
even take
horses and
Sacred
chariots.
Band.
Yeah, he's got
I think
Sacred
it's
Band in his warband
that
as restricted. That's
that
hilarious.
that always makes me laugh because I never see the reason.
No, if you're taking
I
Hipparchos, it's cav and chariots. That's it.
I think the biggest thing to point out with him is the loss of the limit of 3 companion cav.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's not like I'd rather take multiple chariots.
do it for the memes.
'Cause, I mean, it'd be hilarious. It would be hilarious to run. That is a lot of companion cav.
Yeah. He could take tactical or combat masteries. Pretty cool, I guess.
That's really it.
Promethean Oracle. I don't feel like death by text wall.
There's a lot to
Um,
chew through in this.
he does stuff for Titans. If you want a
Yes.
monster mash, this is your guy.
He does a lot of very good buffs for Titans.
Yep. Also
I think this one, the second one, easily to go over real quick. Ancient Tactician. Friendly Titan regiments charging through a piece of hindering can benefit from the inspired special roll.
Yeah.
That's good.
that
is really, really good. The others, Lord of Titans is similar to how the Fallen Divinity works.
Yeah. Basically, it's telling you how he functions as a character. Is what this wall of text does.
Yeah. He always counts as 6 for seizing objective zones. Nice. 20 wounds. Really nice. Not really a slouch at all.
No.
The change to the axe a while ago, giving it cleave +1, instantly made my favorite.
An instant kill the objective markers. So basically, you have to choose one of his weapons. He gets axe or spear. This has been a funny debate to watch. I've seen a lot of high-end competitive players say always unyielding, which has kind of surprised me.
This is where you and I
he's
100% agree on. Yeah, exactly.
He's already 6 stands. Why are you giving him unyielding?
I think it's funny. Anytime you've pointed that out, like some people are like, "Yeah, just put unyielding on him." Why?
Yeah, if he's on a zone, it's probably his anyway.
He counts as 6 stands. The only thing that's gonna counter him is something that is 6 stands or a block of 7 stands,
Yeah.
which he's on a monster base, so they're probably not gonna get most of it on there.
Yeah, he's probably bullying them anyway. Also, with the slight shift in meta with the Dweg update, Cleave is a little bit more important again.
Cleave 3 on him. Yeah.
So I say a little bit more important. I initially thought Cleave was becoming important again. I don't think it's as important as I initially thought. So Cleave +1 is fine. Insta killing objective markers, fine. He's
In my
probably gonna
opinion,
do it anyway.
that's nice. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just think it's nice because inflicts at least one wound. You can kill it on the charge.
Yeah, so it's helping your action economy out.
Exactly.
You can only have
Not.
2 regiments, no relics or masteries.
Yep. Must take a Promethean.
Gotta take the Promethean tax. And then he
Because it
has
must includes at least one. So even though he's 260, he's in reality he's 460, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Do you want to do Monster Mash? Do this guy. Or 2 of him. Probably 2 of him.
Wait, too.
Upgrades. Weather restrictions. Only infantries can have banners. Only the Eidolon the Mechanist can have modifications. That's the restrictions. So Standard of Last Duration. This one I used to have a lot of fun with. I would go take a zone with my Thorakides, and then they'd die on the zone, and I'd still take it.
Your Aristarch.
My Aristarch with the ballistic missile Thorakides that would move 28 inches on the turn they arrived. Very fun. It does not do that anymore. There's no light scoring anymore. So what it does, it's so you still have, if you're destroyed on a zone, you seize it regardless. So this is semi-light scoring, but it's dead light scoring. If your regiment dies, you score the zone, unless your opponent has always seizing. So like a old hold ray. I don't remember if the hold ray does that anymore. I don't think he does. So yeah, rare instances of always seizing will override that. Then it is an activated part of the ability. At the end of the supremacy phase, the regiment the character is attached to re-rolls defense rolls if it's in range of objective zone.
I like it. Not for 45 points.
Like for 45 points, that's too steep. Once per game with an activation.
Right. For 15 points, I'd probably do it.
I don't
Maybe.
think you're seeing this anymore, except in very specific builds.
It has to be a very specific build because 45 points is a lot.
Yeah.
You're talking a stand at that point.
Yeah.
Of most regiments in the army.
Pretty steep. Like,
and
I'd probably take it for 30. But
the one, especially like if we're strictly talking between the 3 banners, I would rather take Aristia.
Oh yeah, so then yeah, the best banner, Aristia. You gain the draw event for the character. Non-monster regiment within 8 inches gets March value +5. So basically Juggernaut.
And
yeah, and it's just automatic. You don't have to spell cast it.
Yeah.
And it's only 20 points.
With the entourage now into strat stack, like that, this is amazing.
This gained a ton of value.
A lot, yeah. Primo, dynamic, or
what? It doesn't have the limitation of strat stack. I thought it did.
No, it's just a draw event.
Right. Okay.
It's always been a draw event, but it's been less situational or more situational. Sorry.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like character draw event, battlefield tactic, entourage.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of chain of events with Aristia that you can do now, and you just go from this one like meh regiment to just this super buffed missile, like really good. Um,
Dynamic globe. All friendly regiments with an 8 inch this character counts within the wizard for purposes of interference. You got 10 points left over. You got interference now. Cool.
I'd rather take overkill.
Really?
I well, I just
Okay. You're crazy, man. Overkill.
I,
We'll get to that.
over this. Yeah, I'd rather have overkill.
With the Wizard 10 Dwegum Nuke Lords on the prowl.
Cool. I'm defense 4 with tenacious. Let's go.
Armor. Chrysort. How do you say this? I look at this and I don't know.
Chrysler's helmet. This
You
is
love this
honestly
one.
one of my favorite. I love it. I love this helmet.
Enemy stands in contact with the character, lose inspired. Enemy characters dueling against this guy lose Quicksilver Strike, and they lose Flurry. It's
Yes.
fine. It's good
The
if
dueling
you're in
part is
spaces.
situational.
Hmm.
Because most of the time I have the Blade of Euclides on him.
Right.
So most people won't duel me.
Right.
But being able to deny 2 to 3 stands they're inspired
Yeah, it's like a poor man's
is nice. It is a poor man's dread. I wish it was regiment, similar to how Armor of Dominion changed for 100 Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
but
don't.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
This is one you love. I won't touch this one.
Honestly, I took it out of my builds.
Well, you'll probably put it back in.
Probably.
Living
Especially
Breastplate.
with taking away Quicksilver Strike and Flurry.
Yeah, I keep cutting you off. I'm really bad at that.
No, it's fine.
Living Breastplate, 20 points. Character stand rerolls, failed defense rolls in a duel. Hard pass. Why are you building into duels?
Just get rid of that. Just
Yeah.
that may as well not even exist.
Yeah.
Pressing on.
Blade of Keys. 40 points. +1 to your clash value, -1 to your attack, and cleave 4.
The lightsaber.
The lightsaber. This thing, if you're going
I
into high
love
defense,
it.
very good. Very good.
I love it on my Warlord Polemarch in my brick of hoplites.
A lot of people claim that it's wasted on the Polemarch because of the +1 clash. Who cares? You've got Flurry on him innately.
I'm fine with the loss in +1 clash because it's honestly lost on most characters. They're already clash 3, so it's not a huge thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
-1 to attacks, I don't care. In trade for cleave 4, don't care.
You're scaring off a lot of other duelists with cleave 4.
Duelists, you scare off monsters with cleave 4.
Yeah.
I had people hesitating to charge my hoplites once they ask.
Yeah. Atlanta Spear, 30 points, +1 attack, cleave 1. That's fine. That's
It's
decent.
fine. I like putting on like a spare Polemarch in Agama or an Aristarch.
Yeah. I'm starting to value this more than Akides.
Somewhat.
It depends. It depends.
It's situational.
Yeah.
It depends on how many points you have in your list, in my opinion. If you have that extra 10 points, I would rather have the blade. If you don't, or you'd rather have the 10 points elsewhere, like for you need 20 points for an officer or something like that, sure, do Atlanta Spear.
Featherblade, 10 points, Quicksilver Strike. Again,
Same as Living Breastplate. I just
why are
get
you
rid of
building
it.
into duels? Unless you're playing like a narrative. Don't care.
I think just Quicksilver Strikes need to be reworked a little bit.
Yeah.
But you and I've talked about that.
Yeah. Inscriptions are very interesting.
Yes.
Particularly Inscription of Lighter Alloy. You get a draw event called Mobility. Till the end of the round, the infantry regiment the character stands attached to gets a debuff of -1 defense and loses phalanx and shield. However, the regiment gains +3 to its march characteristic. This is really funny because you can have infantry that are now outrunning cavalry in some cases.
A lot of cases. Most hard hitting cavalry are March 7.
Yeah.
Most. Um,
So most infantry in city states, this will reduce down to defense 1.
oh,
So be careful how you activate it.
most? I'm pretty sure all.
Most. We'll get to it. It's fine.
Okay. But I
Um,
think this points into the Polemarch's Warlord trait really, really well. Like you're setting up for that round where you're gonna shoot your that regiment all the way up there, and then beginning of the next round, nope,
oh
I'm
yeah.
going first and
Oh yeah.
smash.
Yeah. I honestly I hadn't even considered that combination. That
I had started thinking about it recently. Haven't tried it yet.
inscription
Impact
of impact
resistance.
resistance. 20 points. Draw event. Your regiment gets tenacious 1. I use it a
I
lot.
don't like that it's a draw event, but I love
Yeah.
this inscription.
With direct orders, it's better. It's slightly better value.
It is better, but at the same time, a lot of the times I like to draw out what my opponent is doing because I usually run lower activation lists anyways.
Right.
So and by lower I mean like 10. I usually stay around 10, 11 activations.
That's fairly low.
But um, this is where I don't like it being a draw event.
Yeah,
I'd rather it just be 20 points. Regiment has tenacious.
I'd even pay more points if it wasn't a draw event. I'd maybe pay 30. I'd definitely pay 25.
I'd pay 25 to get rid of draw event. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd pay 25. 30 would be more situational.
Yeah, that's a harder choice. Inscription of Balance for 10 points. When an enemy spellcaster chooses regiment as a spellcasting action, counts as 3 stance for the purpose of scaling. There are so few spells that require scaling on an enemy regiment. This is dumb.
This goes back with Featherblade.
This should be free. This should be a free upgrade.
I don't even think it should be an upgrade. I think that should be innate for the priest. Or not priest, the mechanist. If
Yeah.
that was innate for the mechanist, they'd give him way more usage.
I don't know about way more, but
Than what he has already. You're going from 1% to 10%. That's way more.
yeah. Modifications.
Yeah.
So this is affecting the Eidolon, the Mechanist only, with 2 of them only affecting the Eidolon. Alternate Soma. 20 points, you change. So you lose 2 attacks, you gain 2 wounds, you gain a defense and an evasion. And he counts as more stands for seizing when he's not in a light regiment. This is
And
garbage.
he has hardened too.
A bit, defense 4 with evasion 3, hardened. Who cares about hardened 2?
When it also gave War of Death, it was okay.
Yeah.
Very situational still.
I think this is garbage. I think you're paying points to make him worse.
Yeah.
You're paying
100%.
20 points to lose attacks for the
Yeah,
purpose of being tankier in a duel?
No reason for it. Yeah. If he was buffing his regiment, I could see it, but he does nothing for the regiment at all.
Yeah, this is garbage. This is worse than Inscription of Balance.
Yeah.
Anti-Scythian alloy gears. Clockwork hoplites only. Regiment the character stands attached to gets +1 to its march characteristic, and the double time drop in it. It's fine.
It gained a lot more traction, in my opinion, by Clockworks moving from heavy to medium.
Yes. Double time is so rarely used.
Oh yeah.
So
even in casual games, honestly, the only time you'd run double time is more the end of the game.
Yeah.
Just trying to get points, or like you're trying to do a last minute switch around. Like
the +1 march, though, I think it is worth the 20 points. That's significant.
just that in and of itself, yeah.
Yeah. So throw this on a block of Clockworks. It's good. Alternate programming for the Eidolon.
We went over this earlier.
You don't need to rehash it. Resonance receptors for 10 points. When a friendly Promethean successfully casts a spell, regiment the stand is attached to counts as being in range. This is good if you're running Prometheans.
With the decrease in price of Prometheans, I think this could see more use.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, if you're running at least one Promethean, you should be considering this upgrade on something.
Yeah, especially if you have a Mechanist.
Yeah.
Um,
Bastion Alloys, enemy regiment contact, reduces R of Death by 4.
I would
It's
rather have this
cheap.
upgrade on the Eidolon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
This upgrade's
it'd be
cheap
good
enough.
on a Mechanist with Clockworks, but it's still that situational thing. Like,
Very situational.
because Aura of Death has changed so drastically over the time we've been playing, I don't see much reason to take it. I mean, Aura of Death -4
That pretty much negates.
before the recent Aura of Death change. Heck yes, I'd pay 10 points for it, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't care.
Yeah, like if you got leftover points, consider it.
Maybe. Considering most Aura Death is capped out at like 6?
Old Dominion can get, I think, to 8. 8 or 9.
Can they?
Yeah.
But that's 8 hits. They don't cause morale
Yeah.
against your front arc. Like, I don't care. Especially in steady states.
Gosh, I did it again. You're so
I'm good at it.
optimistic.
That's fine.
Masteries, tactical. Expert scouts is an always active. 20 points. All friendly regiments without phalanx activating from strat stack gain Vanguard 3. You have to build into this for it to have value, and you have to have characters in those regiments to give them direct orders. So you're not only doing this on one per round, because direct orders is not, you don't have to be on the table for it. So that is a plus for this. So if you like aggressive infantry,
This is the way.
yeah. So I guess I recently helped someone do a build with this, and I kind of looked at it and was like, I would not play this, but if you want to,
It's
yes.
not the way I like to play steady states. So.
Yeah. Initiative. This is a garbage upgrade now. It used to. So from strat stack, before draw events revolved, you may perform a free charge. It used to give a free reform. You're not paying for this. This is stupid.
This is one of my few gripes with PB. Because the PDF was updated literally a week after to get rid of the free reform.
Yeah. And I don't think it was announced. They just did it.
To my knowledge, it wasn't. I didn't see anywhere in the announcements.
Maybe there was an FAQ. I could look. Who does that? Let's just throw around accusations. It's more fun.
Yeah. But yeah, in my opinion, none of the tacticals are really worth it.
No. Long lineage, you get an extra character upgrade. I'm actually surprised this is still in, because Old Dominion lost theirs.
Yeah, I'm surprised we still have it. I thought they would get rid of it. I thought they were getting rid of it across all armies.
That was my thought, so I'm honestly surprised to see this right now. Combat. Combined arms drills, 40 points, always active. Previously, this let auxiliary stands seize. Now, when an enemy regiment successfully performs a charge against a friendly infantry regiment, till the end of the round, brutes and cav performing a charge against that enemy regiment that charged the infantry gain terrifying +1 to a maximum of terrifying 2. For 40 points, this is absolute garbage to me.
I'd rather pay 20.
If it was 20, I would consider it.
Just because I also run the hoplite brick, so like having opportunist and terrifying +1, like that's really good.
I love the sentiment.
Not 40 points
of this upgrade.
Yes. Yeah, I like the direction it wants to push the army.
Yeah. The number of things that have to align for 40 points, and then you get terrifying +1. Seriously? Of all things to get, you get terrifying +1?
Yeah, that's it. So I could see it if you were doing an Eparchos Warlord, right? and then little hoplite MSUs. Again, that goes back to
It's a weird build.
if you're doing a Parkos Warlord, you're gonna skew.
Yeah.
Like, so 40 points for this, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Disorienting strikes, 10 points. When your character duels, the enemy character has -1 clash. It's not a bad point cost, but why are you buying this?
No.
This is for narrative. Overkill. For each wound this character or stand causes during a duel, the enemy regiment the character's attached to has to take a morale test. Again, why are you building into duels?
Yep.
They have so many duel builds. So I love the premise of dueling. It doesn't work very well and is more often just avoided in the game. So you should not sink points into building for
So
duels.
with the change to the entourage with city states, I could see more of a benefit than most other armies.
Probably. Yeah.
But I'm still in the same premise. Like, I would rather not build into duels.
Yeah, because
Like, even
most of the time,
Chris.
sorry,
No,
I was
you're
gonna say
good.
most of the time, if your opponent sees your character is built to being a duelist, they're just gonna be like, oh, I just deny.
Exactly. And like, even when I was saying I love Chris Orr's helmet, it's for the losing inspired part. It's not even for the dueling part.
Yeah.
So it's just, I wish there was, honestly, the way they moved the Dwagum with dueling, I like that. I wish they would kind of flesh that out more into just base rules in general. Because I like the idea of characters dueling in this rank and flank game. Like, it's just a cool idea. But yeah, I am in same agreement. Why build into duels?
Yeah. Spells. I'd rather cover these as we get to them with the regiments.
Yeah, I remember most of them, so it's fine.
Thorakides. So, fluid formation has changed, which impacts Thorakides and Agama. Thorakides gain fluid formation from strat stack. Now, the way fluid formation is worded is if you have more than 3 stands in your front rank and you fluid, you cannot charge. So,
That's actually partially incorrect.
what am I?
So it's fluid straight up says that at the beginning and end of the reform action, you have to have 3 stands.
Okay. I was
in the
summarizing
front,
it in
the front
brain,
rank.
the important part.
Yeah, you can't benefit from the charging from it. So yeah.
So fluid formation has taken a pretty big hit.
I wish it was 4 stands.
4? Yeah, I think 4.
Strictly because you are still gaming a lot. I agree. But it's strictly because adding characters, you're getting rid of that rule. It's useless, pretty much.
Yeah. Or so you're forced to put a stand not in the front. Double so if you take an auxiliary stand as well. Which if you're taking
which is what I was getting to. Like, now you take an auxiliary stand. Like, even without a character, now you're at 4 stands.
Yeah.
Now you're forced to shift 1 back, limiting your actions, limiting whatever you're going to be doing.
Right.
Which in Thorakides' place, I can understand it because you're taking a Thyrian, which is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just my little tidbit. So anyways, Thorakides.
They're a light. They're a March 6 infantry. Defense 2 with a shield, pretty good. Clash 2, fine. They have Tenacious 1 against shooting, or volleying, I should say. They get fluid out of strat stack, as we said. They have access to a couple officers and a Minotaur Thyrian auxiliary for 50 points. He's a 7 wound auxiliary with Clash 3, 5 attacks, 3 impacts at Brutal 1. He's got Cleave 3 and Linebreaker. So suddenly you've taken this light regiment, and now it's punching upward. Just because of
you're taking. Well, the Minotaur Thyrian is a heavy, and now you're putting it in a light regiment, which one of only 2 lights that the army has access to.
Yeah.
And he's fast.
Yeah. and he has
March
more
6
defense
with
now
Vanguard
with
3.
this regiment.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. With oh yeah, sorry, I forgot they have Vanguard 3, which is
it kind
improved.
of more defense. You gain 1 defense but lose evasion.
Right, which is fine.
Yeah.
They have 2 officers. So the Andromarchos, I just wrote off previously because he requires
Mhm.
what he does. He has +2 attacks to the command stand, and if you pop from strat stack, or in this case, if you direct orders now,
Yeah.
he gives the regiment flurry. I was never, I would never pay points for an officer that required strat stack use. I'd never do it.
Uh,
Now with direct orders, I'm
yeah.
taking these guys all the time.
I stopped taking a Dramacos um, because of the strat stack thing,
Yeah.
but I would always have a Dorlates,
Oh yeah.
which we'll get to later. Actually, here in a minute because it's next.
Yeah.
But with the direct orders, I will always take an Adramicos.
Yes.
25 points. It's expensive, but 2 extra hits and Flurry.
Man.
Flurry is huge.
Yeah.
Whether it's Thorkides or Agama. I mean, especially on Thorkides, you're giving that Minotaur Flurry. Oh,
So I think
buddy.
if I remember statistically, Flurry effectively is Clash plus 1.5.
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Comment if I'm wrong. Do the math, nerd. Lakagos.
I ain't doing it.
Lakagos lets you use the resolve of a nearby character and benefit from their battlefield order or tactic.
Within 18 inches.
18 inches, that's right. I think it uses like 2 different ranges depending on which effect it's using, so it's kind of.
Well, so they're separated into 2 different sentences. So like the first part,
They can read it.
yeah, if I remember right, it's the first part with the resolve that the regiment has to be within 18 inches of the character stand, but the battlefield tactic, the command stand, has to be within 18 inches.
Right. So you take the Andromachos if the character is riding with the Thorkides. You take the Lakagos if the character is nearby.
I wouldn't put a Lakagos inside Thorkides.
I have.
Really?
Yes. Because
The benefit?
Resolve too.
I mean, sure, but
And so typically the way I do it, I love taking multiples of things. So I have 2 Thorkides.
Yeah.
One's got the character, one doesn't, and they're going up with each other. They're supporting each other up the battlefield.
and you also run Mirror Warbands. I forgot. Yeah.
Usually.
Mhm.
But you can even do this
in that stance, yeah, I could see something like that.
So like I would typically run an Aristarch in one. He gives resolve and so he procs untouchable. They both get it, and they're both using his resolve. So I found that good. It's hard to sell me on officers a lot of times until I try it, and I tried that and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Hoplites. This is your generic good anvil regiment. They're defense 2, but they're effectively defense 4 from the front. Phalanx gives them +1 defense and resolve to their front, which is very important for them because they're only resolve 2.
Yes.
They've got support 2 because they got pikes. They got this pokey long.
They got spears, not pikes.
Yeah, it's all the same. They're only Clash 2, which is fine. They're conscripts according to lore.
Yeah, they're the city's militia.
Yeah.
They're meant to be hit and not really dish out.
Yeah. So they've got hold, which is pretty interesting. So while another friendly regiment is in contact with the same enemy regiment as this regiment, it gains opportunists. Pretty cool.
I hate the way they worded it, but I love it. I love the rule.
Yeah.
Even though I've rarely used it.
For rules.
It's so mixy.
Yeah. So they can take officers, Doralides, and Lakagos. We already covered what the Lakagos does. Doralides, if I remember right, it's from Strat Stack, and you get relentless blows. So ones are exploding. Ones cause hits. This includes any attached characters.
And auxiliary stands.
And auxiliary stands. like a Polemarch with the Blade of Achilles suddenly is causing 8 hits
Oh,
potentially.
hey, that -1 to attacks.
Don't care.
I've gotten 10 hits.
Yep.
It's
Uh, Minotaur
scary.
Hospice Auxiliary is not as good as the Thyrian. He's only 6 wounds to 7.
He
He's only
has a different
cleave 1.
purpose.
Yeah, he's adding more wounds effectively, and a tiny amount of cleave.
Yeah. I'll still
Generally,
take it.
yeah, for a 10 point difference between a normal stand and him, he's worth it. If
Yeah.
you're not running an MSU, you take him. If
Yeah.
you're running an MSU of hoplites, that's pretty weird, but cool. Try it. I've
I
done it.
don't.
I've done it. It was weird.
It is awkward.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, they're a
yeah.
fantastic anvil.
Yeah.
Selenoi, the ranged goats. Barrage
The
4,
other
16
light regiment.
inches. Arcing 4, fire, loose formation. They're a good skirmisher, counter archer.
Yeah, they're
120
decent.
points. That's nice.
Decent at what they do.
Yeah.
The points decrease on them because they were, when they first came out, were 160, if I remember right, and
They're
restricted.
insanely expensive.
They were crazy expensive.
The
Now them being mainstay and 120,
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah, they used to be I
Still,
think they just went down. Let me check. I'm looking at
they did.
the
They went down 10 points
yeah.
because they
Yeah.
were 130. Now they're 120.
Yeah, I think that's a good change because they were the same cost as a chariot.
Same cost as hoplites.
So people are starting to run Aristarch in the Selenoi and having him up as a backfield officer, just giving out his commands to other infantry.
It's funny because I ran that way back
But he
when
couldn't
they
do that with
first dropped
dwarves.
onto when he first dropped to mainstay.
But he
No,
couldn't
he
do it with
couldn't.
dwarves.
But I did the pyrodynamic globe
Glowing people.
with them behind the hoplite brick.
Right. Yeah.
So
Now there's more value there.
there is more value, 100%.
Phalangites, this is the other anvil infantry, better at anti-cavalry because of pike
Yes.
formation. So you're reducing impact by 3 per stand. Enemy regiment can't have shock and can't have inspired when they charge. So nice into
hmm
Wadroon.
I
Wadroon and
think the
cavalry.
big thing here, them having Clash 3 instead of Clash 2, and
Yeah,
5 attacks
5 attacks,
instead of 4.
3. So far
Really good.
higher output
They are
for
really
1 less
good.
defense.
Yeah.
They're also more points.
20 points. 20 points more.
They now so when this initially came out, it was so stupid. Wall of Pikes. When they strat
A little
stack, they
bit.
gain R of Death 6. It's still kind of stupid,
Has more
but if you've
benefit
got a
now.
because yeah, if you've got a character in them entouraging, it's more value. However, they've probably killed what they were hitting anyway. Still, so
I don't
it's like
run them
if you
as my
just like
main block anymore.
if you barely didn't kill your target, this is fine.
Yeah.
But
I I like having them on my flank with a
yeah,
Luck Ghost.
yeah,
It's nice. Just because I can give them the reroll ones shooting at them,
right.
it makes people hesitate. And then them sitting down at choke point with the Sacred Band Auxiliary.
Mm.
4
Yeah, so
stands just sitting out there waiting. Like
yeah, so they can
they put
fully
out some
use
hate.
Luckos like the hoplites. They get Sacred Band Auxiliary. So
One more
same
wound.
amount of attacks, one more wound, and it gives Cleave 2.
Yeah.
And other Sacred Band can cast onto this regiment now.
Yep.
Agama are very sad with the change to fluid.
It saddens me because this was one of my favorite regiments in the army.
Yeah, like
I
I won't even
loved
consider
this
them anymore.
regiment.
They're overcosted now because of that.
100%. 100%. The change to fluid hurt them drastically.
Yeah,
Um,
you're not running them probably more than 4 stands, and probably not with a character
it,
unless
I
you're
wouldn't even run them 4 stands.
yeah. Well,
I just run
yeah.
them MSU with the Andromacos, and that's it.
See, I wouldn't even do that because now you have to strat stack them, and
That's fine.
because they don't have a character attached. Unless you're attaching, they're a mess. This regiment with the changed one little change, and this regiment is a disaster.
Yeah.
Trying to make function. Um,
Like I said, was my favorite regiment in the army.
yeah,
Love them to pieces. I've had them take down giants, like chains of giants. I've had them do nothing some games, and then I've just had them wipe out half a board by themselves. Like it's were my favorite regiment. Now they're just sad,
yeah,
sad boys.
yeah. Satiroi, the goat men who never
Such
function.
an awkward army or regiment. Sorry.
Yeah, so they're trying real hard to make this regiment interact with the reinforcement line. So they've got cleave, they got shield, they got fluid, impact 2, opportunist, vanguard 6, which is a lot.
Fast.
So they're marching 18 inches onto the table when they arrive. They're a medium, and they've got this quirky little rule: pathfinders. A reinforcement line set by this regiment cannot be pushed back by enemy regiments. So pushed back meaning an enemy regiment moves past them. So if they die, they still lose the reinforcement line. The issue is that does not
Medium.
work for a medium
Why are they
because,
medium?
well, yeah, they should be a light regiment
If
because
they were light, I'd probably take them.
you're the only thing that really benefits from them if they're still alive is other mediums. I say if they're still alive because they're fragile. Four
Yeah, they're very.
wounds, evasion 2, D1 and
I
shield. That they shouldn't even have that.
that makes me laugh so much that they have D1 and shield
Yeah,
when they have evasion too. Like why?
and they're resolved to. They're fragile.
I
So
would rather get rid of cleave 1, make them lights. I'd be fine with them being 160 at that point
yeah.
because of how fast they are and Pathfinder. Like then there's actually some use to them.
So hold on, hold on. There is a use for them. It's not Pathfinders. So let's go back. They previously did not
This is your
allow.
alloy.
They did not allow
Yeah.
characters to be attached to Satirioi previously.
Yeah, now they can.
Now they can. So what you
Mm-hmm.
do, well, it used to be even better before the update. You attach, let's say, a polemark to them. It could even be
Yep.
your warlords. Now they're +1 clash and they got tenacious. And you give him inscription of lighter alloys. So
Yep.
you pop that. It makes them -1 defense and lose their shield. Oh no! They're still evasion
Evasion
2.
too.
They don't care about that part. And
Yeah.
now they're March 9,
Yeah.
which I think is faster than almost all cavalry in the game. Now, the funny part,
No, yeah, because they nerfed mounted squires from 10.
yeah, the funny part is before this update, Aristarch used to give things coming out of Strat Stack +1 March, so you could make them March 10.
Yeah.
Can't make the March 10 anymore. However, that Polemarch Warlord that you were just talking about, you boost these guys up, get them in position, and then next turn you're like, oh, I got my Polemarch here. I'm going first, and I'm flank charging you.
Yeah. That's a very good alpha strike, but that's
Yes.
about it.
Yeah. They're going to die after that, but it's very fun.
It, but even then, you have to prep 2 turns in advance because you can't do draw events from off the table.
Right.
So,
But they've got Vanguard 6, so it's fine.
I mean, yeah,
that's plenty
they're
of March.
fast. It's almost the same thing because it's the same amount of March.
Yeah. So there's a meme with them, effectively.
It definitely a meme regiment.
Stop trying to use Pathfinders. You're going to get yourself in trouble with that.
Yeah, don't.
Or you'll get very lucky.
You could get very lucky and pull out some weird stuff with chariots, but you gotta pray they don't get shot right off the bat.
Yeah. Sacred Band.
I love this regiment.
Yeah, I don't really care about them. I don't think they're bad, but I don't run them.
My issue is they're the same points, same slots as Thyrians.
Right.
And with Thyrians now having 7 wounds instead of 6, so much better than these guys.
Yeah. So these guys are heavy infantry, March 6, class 3, 5 attacks, 5 wounds, resolve 4, which is good. Defense
Yeah.
3, devout, priest 5, cleave 2, fearless.
I think Fearless with Resolve 4 is the biggest thing here.
Yeah.
Um,
Devout is important since their priest level is so low. They get a free spell cast as if they were a priest character. They've got 2 spells. They got a heal spell, and what is?
so Molon Labe is 1 wound per success. Othismos, it. Oh, what did it do? Because they used to have Blessed. Now, if I remember right, it makes them reroll their defense and resolve rolls and makes them count as. Oh yeah, that's what they changed it to.
3 and makes them count as 2 additional stands.
Yeah.
When they're resolve 4 fearless, who cares about Indomitable 3?
I'd rather have the heal. The heal is amazing.
So on themselves, they could potentially heal up to 6 wounds. I'm going too far. Where'd they go?
They're right below the Saturoi.
Here we go. They can potentially heal up to 5 wounds on Agama or Phalangites with their auxiliary.
I've had them go toe to toe with a Siegebreaker for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Trying to build into an auxiliary being cast on by this is a trap. Like if you happen to get it to work, great, but you should not be building into it.
It takes a lot of timing and positioning.
Yeah.
Because that's the list I brought down to Georgia.
Yeah. You weren't getting a lot of heals off on the Phalangites, were you?
No, they were mostly healing themselves.
Yeah.
The Phalangites rarely needed healed, honestly.
Yeah.
Once they got healed once, most people went after the Sacred Band, and then they realized the Sacred Band are not exactly pushovers. So
now they're hard to shift.
I wouldn't say hard to shift.
They're
more
just
like
harder than expected.
They can punch back as much as they take.
Yeah.
I think is the big thing, because Cleave 2's it's not a lot, but it's decent enough to give people hesitation.
Yeah.
Most armies, anyways.
So they're heavy infantry.
Mm-hmm.
Clockwork Hoplites. These have become a medium. They were a heavy, and they've
also gone down in points.
And they lost Hardened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a fair trade.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. I'm happy they decreased the points at the same time. It would have been a little bit upsetting if they didn't. But at the same time, trading loss of Hardened for medium class, that's nice.
Yeah. So these are resolveless things. Mm-hmm. It's got a big, long text wall of what they do as not having resolve. They also can't inspire normally. And then it's also got a caveat saying they can't be affected by battlefield orders and tactics unless they have a mechanist attached, which is fine. You're probably doing that anyway. They're not bad as MSUs either. They're just a little pricey for that.
I think if you're building into them, you're building into them, because 180 points, like, you're invested at that point, and then there's 60 points a stand.
Yeah.
Yes, they have Cleave 1. Yes, they have Flurry. Yes, they're Defense 4. But they're still expensive.
Yeah. And they have support, so there is use.
They have support too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
though
they're tedious to build lists with, though, because there's not a ton of synergy with a lot of other regiments. Mostly they're
this
running around
is
Prometheans.
Yeah, this is where I'm looking forward to the sub faction listings when they finally get around to it.
Yeah.
Because I think once they get into the Skull Eye, I think the Skull Eyes, especially since we only have Clockworks and Inquisitors right now.
Yeah.
I think being able to build into the Skull Eye and having that synergy will be nice. I don't see it for years. Well, probably a couple years.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But yeah, definitely a good regiment. I personally don't see much use beyond 4 or 5 stands.
Yeah, I may have many of them because I love the concept of this regiment, and
You
I'm
have a
struggling.
lot of them.
I have a lot. I think I bought 8 boxes.
Yeah.
Just don't don't worry about it. So I'm struggling to make them work how I like to play. I may force myself to just
They're not aggressive enough for the way you like to play. Well, so you do a weird like shock and awe style,
yeah,
and they do not fit that play style. They fit more into my play style, but I prefer. I just don't like the mechanist.
right. No, understandably.
Um,
Stupid nerd with his iPad.
and if I'm taking an Eidolon, I'm taking Inquisitors. I love the
Yeah,
models. I love their lore. Yeah. So it's just a weird spot, I think, and that's part of where I'm hoping the Skull Eye sub faction will change it.
yeah. I think part of it is like they're not bad. There's just better things. Is probably a possible.
There's better characters, I
Yeah,
think, is the problem.
yeah,
Because the mechanist of our characters is probably the weakest,
yeah.
at least in my opinion.
I agree
Like,
with that.
I'd rather have even an Aristarch with hoplites.
Yeah.
And
So
sure, yeah, I'm taking Resolve, but I have a character that can actually buff other things besides that regiment.
mm,
Plus a useful supremacy ability, or more useful.
yeah.
Yeah. Now we get to the fun stuff.
Companion Cav. These were great. They gained Brutal 1 for some reason.
You got it better. I, I think this is so funny. This always makes me laugh because I loved this regiment, and you always gave me shit for it.
I did.
Always. And then you ran them and never stopped.
Yeah, they're. I think I try to make them fit in every. I try to make an Ipparkos warband fit in every list of mine.
I love having an Aparcos with 2 companion Kev. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. March 8, pretty high value. Class 3
They're
6 attacks.
fast.
They are a light cavalry as far as like durability. 4 wounds,
Yeah.
resolve 3, defense 2, evasion 1.
They're squishy. They're a shock cavalry.
Yeah, brutal
But they're
1
definitely
infantry.
the fastest of
Yeah.
medium cavalries.
They do have dread, so this can help them live.
Which, with them getting brutal 1 and not increasing points, I was surprised.
Yeah, they are 140 points, 40 points for an additional stand.
And they're
So cheap.
mainstays for the Imparcos. Like,
Yes.
so cheap
This has
and
got to
so
be
good.
the best points per value on a stat line of anything in the game.
I still think Ogres are up there. I still argue Ogres are up there.
Ugerson.
Ogres are good. And they're slow, yes. But they are durable. They're way more durable than this.
I don't know if they have evasion either.
No, they don't.
So, lame.
I say durable meaning they're decent resolve with oblivious.
You know, and more wounds, of course.
Uh, yeah, 2 more wounds. 1 more
Inquisitors.
wound.
So Inquisitors and Companion Cav kind of fit the same role. They're a shock flanker. Inquisitors can hit head on better than the Companion Cavalry can, but they still both are wanting to eat something from the side.
Yeah.
So similar profile, March 7, Class 2, 6 attacks, 5 wounds. So Inquisitors are a little tankier. 5 wounds, 4 resolve, defense 3, evasion 2. They have cleave, flurry, unstoppable. I think the only regiment that has unstoppable on its own.
Yeah, I remember there being one, but I could not remember what it was.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they're one of my favorite regiments.
Yeah,
Or
I
one
like
of my favorite
Inquisitors.
models. I
Oh
love
yeah,
their
model
models,
line.
love their lore. Well,
Model.
it's a
Body
love-hate
lore.
relationship with the model. The
Yeah,
design of the model, amazing. Building them,
their ankles. They got weak ankles.
TB, why?
Um,
Why?
you're going to run these with an Eidolon for the terrifying bonus.
That terrifying bonus. Oh, especially when you're hitting someone in the flank with these. Because,
Yeah,
like, 18 attacks,
yeah, those are
Clash
good.
3, Cleave 1, Flurry. Oh, my buddy. I think something important to note with this, they do not have a leader stand.
True.
I know that might catch some people off guard if they were to just dive into the army.
Yeah.
So I figured that'd be something to point out.
Now, Steven, I have a question for you that
I might have
may be
just
a callback to someone else's video. This regiment, is it an anvil regiment or not?
I don't see them filling that purpose. They
Great.
could. They could.
They could
They're a
not.
soft. They're a soft anvil, very soft.
Why is this an anvil?
But I would not use them as an anvil.
Yeah, that's not an anvil. This is shock.
I'm using that term loosely in the way that you could use household guard as anvils.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, I would not. They're a shock brute. They're not anvils.
If you're the one who made the comment, first of
You know
all,
who you are.
you made kind of a mean comment, so I was a little bit mean back, but this is just funny. So
No. Mm-mm. They're not. No.
they're not an anvil. Don't take it personal. They're not an anvil.
No. You have
Minotaur Haspis. Speaking of not an anvil,
3 originals. These guys are a speed bump.
so March 6th. This is probably one of the most role confused regiments.
Oh my god, they have Unstoppable too.
Really?
Did that get added? I don't remember them having Unstoppable.
Huh. I don't know. I don't run them. March 6th, Clash 3, 4 attacks, 6 wounds. Resolve 3, Defense 2, Evasion 1, with a shield, Impact 2, Vanguard 3, Cleave 1, Brutal Impact 1, and Unstoppable. They do have a command stand. So, stat for stat, they look like an anvil. They look like a soft anvil. The reason I think they're bad is because the only character that can join them is the Eidolon. And pretty much everything else in this document thrives off of having a character attached. And these don't. They benefit from an Eidolon, but why do you have an Eidolon with Haspis when you could have him with Inquisitors?
So personally, this is where you and I kind of differ.
Mm.
That's why I like them, because they don't need a character to thrive or do their job.
What do you think their job is? Because I have a pretty clear job I think they do. But
So
here's what you think.
I use them to spearhead. Spearhead and time delay for the rest of my army to move up because of how much faster they are. Because, yeah, sure, they're not the most durable in terms of like medium to medium, but if you look at them at more of an early medium, pushing light versus a light, they can hold their own.
Yeah.
And I've had them hold their own versus some mediums. Granted, I've also had them get destroyed by lights. I've lost a regiment to Strix, so
Well, Strix are different.
not to them clashing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
out or something though.
I think so. I don't remember.
So if
I ended up
ran
winning the game
Haspis-
anyway, so I don't remember.
If I ran Haspis, I would use them to zone. So they're not an anvil. They're a threat that's just hanging out. They're not going to engage first. They're going to wait as long as it takes so that they get the first hit. So I'm using them to zone you out. I'm not.
Most of the time, I would have 2 of them, and I would run them on the same side. Just to kind of do an early flank declining, or even force my opponent to answer to that. Where I can then put something else, a lighter, like at the time Agama, or a companion cav on the other side, and push in from the flank on that side.
Yeah.
So that's where I see their benefit. It's not much in the way of their special rules or their stat line or anything. It's strictly that.
Mm.
Um, and honestly, out of all their rules, Vanguard 3 and Fearsome are probably their best rules.
Yeah.
And Fearsome is situational, but those times where it's actually come into play, it actually helps a lot.
Yeah, I like the
Um,
fearsome rule. It is rare, but I like it.
Forcing people to re-roll or to roll for their rallies in combat, forcing people to not being able to combat reform if they fail, like that, it's a huge benefit because it wastes actions.
Yeah.
It's great. But yeah, that's the only time I like to run Haspis.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I just think they're overcosted for
Yeah,
regiments that can do the job better.
I I could see them down to like 150. I think I'd be happy.
Mm.
The reason I don't want them too low, honestly, is because they're also mainstays for the Polemarch.
Right.
And yes, the Polemarch can't join them, but when you have terms of like Agama that he can join, or Thorakides or stuff like that, like I can understand a slightly higher points cost, but 170 is a bit much, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they just came down in points as well.
Yeah, they came down from 180.
Combined arms. Where are they? Typos. Could have sworn they.
It'd be right with the Thyrians. They put them
Yeah,
right
yeah,
next
you're
to
right.
each other.
Yeah, so they just came down 10 points. Getting into the monsters. Hephaestion also came down 10 points. This is the Cleave monster with spell.
Yeah.
So both Hephaestion and Promethean are only priest 2, but they gain more priest with the hits they cause during the round, including impacts. So they have to fight in order to spellcast, unless you're running them with the Promethean Oracle Warlord, in which case they
Also
don't have
worth
to fight.
noting that they need 4 successes instead of 2
Yes.
for spellcasting.
Yeah.
And it is a free spellcasting action.
Yes.
Um, but yes, I loved the Hephaestion. I still honestly do,
Hmm.
but especially with the Thyrians now being 7 wounds, I would rather take them.
I am uncertain still. Um, yeah, they definitely have more wounds than him. He's a little bit more defensive, which can make a difference.
He has a little bit more durability in the sense that he has hardened 1 and defense 3.
Yeah, and he doesn't
I
degrade. So I think there is still
Yeah.
a toss up there.
There's
For
definitely a
example.
toss up. I just prefer the Thyrians because I love Chaos. It was part of the reason why I originally went into city states.
Yeah.
I wanted the pike formations. I wanted the bowls. I wanted like the good Greek mythology feel. And that's part of it. So I love the Hephaestion, have mine painted up, 3D printed a head for him. I love that model.
Yeah.
Um, but
It says he knows 2 spells. He uses 1 spell.
there's no reason to use 2.
So Trident Strike says you cause 1 hit per success. Crucible's Fire says you get R of Death 7. Also, Trident Strike has a range of 6 inches. So not only do you have to be already engaged with a regiment that hasn't gone yet, it only causes 7 hits with no morale check versus Trident Strike is as many hits as you roll successes, so at least 4, and it causes morale. So even if you only cause 4 hits with it, it still has greater potential for damage than the Crucible's Fire.
Also worth noting that he is terrifying too. So 9 times out of 10, that Trident Strike you're using is you're in combat.
Yeah.
So that terrifying 2 is going to come into play.
Yeah. The Crucible's Fire is very dumb.
I've used it once.
You fool.
Since City States came out.
Yeah. And then you learned how to do math.
2 years. Well, no. So this was when Aura of Death caused morale.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah,
Yeah, that was probably the only time I've ever done it.
yeah.
Other than that, I
And it
use
was
Trident
attunement
Strike.
too.
Let's not talk about that.
Promethean,
That
the
was dark days.
cheaper, lighter class monster that buffs your guys instead of does more damage. He's still fine. I don't think
He's
I've
honestly
ever run
pretty
one.
decent.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's just
Once,
not. He's not how I play the game. I don't like
once maybe
what I don't like
twice.
about him. So he's got two spells. He lets you, what is it, reroll sixes on defense and resolve, or he gives you
Or
+1 clash.
plus one clash, and rerolling sixes on clash.
And one of them doesn't work on monsters, which is kind of weird. I
I
forget
think
which.
that's like I don't remember which one. I want to say
Um,
it's the clash one, but I don't think it is.
what I don't like about the Promethean, he's a support. He's a semi-support because he also fights pretty decent with cleave too, and so he's got support spells, but he has to fight to get them to work. So you're trying to it's just timing is weird. So you have to get him into combat in order to buff your other guys to then get into
So
combat later.
he is a weird thing. So this is where you want that resonance receptor from earlier on. And if I remember right, the spells have 8 or 10 inch range from him.
Yeah, they're not very
So
far, but it's a bubble, so it affects all things with
it is
that.
a bubble. So you want him like centralized,
Yeah,
which in most cases is where your hoplites are going to be.
yeah, yeah,
Or in like your list, like a combat more forward pushy list, like Promethean has no place.
yeah.
He's such a confused model, in my opinion.
Like his role is good.
Yeah,
Implementing him is tedious.
it's awkward. Tedious at best, awkward, very awkward.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he has his use. I I don't know. It's odd. I like that they changed him from heavy to medium.
yeah.
Granted,
It
this
was a
was a
while
while
back.
ago.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
not a recent change, but
Um, that helped a
Talos.
little bit, but still not enough.
Yeah, Talos, the super tank monster, 20 wounds, defense 4 effectively from shield, and hardened 2, and he's fearless. Um, he doesn't suffer from R of Death and Decay, counts as 6 stands. Doesn't suffer lethal demise, and he helps nearby priests with +1 to their priest
Mm-hmm.
level. He can get upgrades so that friendly monsters, including himself, gain unstoppable within 8 inches, or he can get the helm of Nike, give people some sweet shoes. All my words fail me.
All friendly infantry regiments declaring a charge action while within 8 inches of this regiment gain impact +1 until the end of the round.
So, going into my goat meme build,
Yeah.
you can make them impact 3.
Yeah. Well, it'd be impact 4
No,
because your character's in there.
well, he's not. But he doesn't have impacts innately. No, the goats would be impact. So they're impact 2 normally, so impact +1 makes them impact 3.
Oh, right. I
That's what
forgot
I
they
mean.
had impact too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it helps the meme build.
Yeah.
um,
You remember when all our infantry had impact too?
oh, that was amazing. There used to be an upgrade that allowed that on a character. So Helm of
Such good times.
Nike, Talos. First of all, Talos. He's great. He's a fantastic anchor to your list. Um, some people like to run multiple. I personally think there's lost value once you start getting more than one.
There's
Um,
You don't need more than one. I
Fights
just
well
don't.
enough to hold stuff off, but mostly he's just there to soak those wounds up. He will die.
He's
He's not immortal.
He's hard to put down. He's
Yeah,
very hard to put down,
he
but
requires
he will
focus memory.
die. Mhm.
Um, if you're putting an upgrade on him, you're doing the mask. Helm of Nike is not expensive, but like you're not doing it.
Outside of memes, you're not. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I used to run him a lot with the mask, with a Hephaestion. Love the combo.
Yeah.
They'd stick him a little further forward, so people are charging him instead of the Hephaestion. But that double threat, people hated. So he's solid. Um,
Definitely a good
so
regiment, great model.
I think
But this
he's
is
like he's an alternate Andal. Like you could run two Andals in city states, probably just running one. So you could run the Talos, you could run Phalangidi block, you could run Hoplite block. Those are all great anvils. So yeah,
the only issue with that, him being heavy. But
yeah,
on the flip side, he has Vanguard 3. So that
and
helps.
he's fast enough. He's faster than infantry, so he's getting up
Yeah.
the field fast enough. He's fine.
As long as you bring him in turn 3, you're good.
Yeah. The Minotaur Thyrians. These recently gained a wound, so they are now 7 wounds a stand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. March 6, Clash 3, 5 attacks apiece, 7 wounds, 3 resolve, only 2 defense and 1 evasion, so they're squishy. But they have Brutal 1, Cleave 3, Impact 3, Line Breaker, Tenacious, Terrifying, and Juggernaut. Like,
Yeah.
they have all the rules needed to wipe a regiment.
Yeah. So they're a can opener. They're going after the high defense regiments.
And it doesn't matter where you put them. You can put them in the flank, you can put them in the front, they're going to do damage.
Yeah.
Um,
I so this update initially I was like with Dwag and their high defense, like, oh yeah, Thyrians are coming back, especially with +1 wound. But they're still so squishy.
yeah, their squishiness hurts them a lot.
So I'm not fully convinced that it's their time to shine. I think it's close. And I
It's
think
getting closer.
depending on your local meta,
Oh
these
yeah.
could do great. Like if you
Mhm.
got a lot of Dwag and 100 kingdoms, send the Thyrians. They'll tear it up. But if you've got a more balanced meta or you're playing high competitive, I don't think they're there yet.
I wouldn't even say high competitive. You could just say semi-competitive.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess what I meant by high competitive was like more than 20 people in the event, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
I didn't
I
so much
think,
mean the skill level, just more
yeah.
the
Okay, I see what you're
volume
saying.
was what the
Um,
intent of that comment was.
I think the big thing with them is like a 40-point difference between the Hephaestion and them.
Mm,
And like you were saying earlier, the Hephaestion doesn't degrade,
yeah.
has better staying powder, or power. Sorry. Um,
He likes the powder too.
yeah. Granted, the Thyrians have more attacks, more overall wounds. They do degrade. Um, I-
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
tough
it's
decision
it
between these
depends.
regiments.
I think this is where it boils down to how many points you have in your list.
Mm,
What are you building around?
yeah,
I think that's what will help be the deciding factor whether or not you take Thyrians or Hephaestions, because they're going to be in the same warband, because they're both restricted in the same warbands. I think the only warband that you can take Thyrians that you can't take the Hephaestion is the Aristarchs,
right.
if I remember correctly. And you're not going to take a Thyrian with Aristarch. It's just, you're just not. You can have chariots for less points. Like,
Yeah,
you can even have companion cap for less points.
yeah,
Um, so they're in an odd spot right now. I have used them to great benefit.
yeah. They're not bad. They're certainly not bad.
No, they're definitely not bad. They're definitely good. It's positioning with them is odd.
Yeah.
And you have to play it right.
Now the very best regiment in the whole game, the War Chariot.
Oh,
It has two
oh
reroll
my God.
platforms: the Flogaballen and the Scorpios. Each um,
Same stat
entry
lines.
each entry allows for two separate regiments, um, which hilariously overcomes the five regiment limit because it says five entry limit in the tournament document as far as how many of an entry you can have. So you can still run eight of them legally.
You know,
You could theoretically run 10 of them if points allow, but points don't allow in list building. So yeah, they have the same. They have the same exact stat line. Where they vary is their range and very slightly how they how their shooting works. So the
yeah,
Flagaballen is a flamethrower. It has 12-inch versus the Scorpios 14. The Flagaballen only has 7 shots. Scorpios has 8. Where they start to differ, the Flagaballen has torrential fire. So for every 2 hits, you gain an extra, and it is always in effective range.
yes,
So it has more consistent output at a lower range. The Scorpios has rapid volley, so ones count as multiple hits,
yep.
and if you are in the flank or rear of an opponent and in effective range, they reroll ones. So the breakdown I say for people is if you are running under 4 chariots, I recommend the Flogaballen. If you are at 4 or more, I recommend the Scorpios because the volume of chariots is going to help you overcome that those dice spikes. So you're going to see more consistency in overall rolls, whereas the Flogaballen it's gonna smooth out on its own because of torrential fire.
It has just a more of a standard curve. There's not
Yeah,
spiky. It's not super spiky.
yeah,
I think it's also worth noting, like, if you're taking chariots, you're taking all of one platform.
you
Like, there's
should
no, you shouldn't really split them up. Just
because
because you can separate the card activations at that point. Like, you draw one card, okay, which of the eight is this going to go to? Like,
well, whoa,
you have a
there's
lot of
only there's only
flexibility.
like so many people running 8 chariots. Let's maybe tone it down to which are 4 chariots. I think that's more for
But it,
the
it
common
gives you
man.
that flexibility of deciding where you want to put those that action at.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Um,
100% agree with that. If you're running chariots, run them all the same. So when you draw that card, it's any chariot you want, not like, oh, bummer, I drew the Flogaball and I really wish I could have activated that chariot that's the Scorpios instead. Run them all the same.
I love the flog. I wish it had. I'm still wishing it had something extra. Um,
Yeah,
just because, in my opinion, the exploit flanks on the Scorpios is so good.
hmm
Because I think the big thing here is reroll successful defense rolls of 1. Like,
yeah,
it's AP1. Most regiments in their side are already going to be down to ones because of that.
yeah,
If they're not already at 1 because they're only evasion 1 or 2.
right.
So that reroll 1 is just tremendous.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, so they also have Vanguard 4 with March 7. So this is a regiment. It's a medium. So this is one of the regiments that can, as it arrives on the table, can tag an objective,
yeah,
depending on the scenario.
depending on the
Um,
scenario, depending on there's a lot of depending.
yeah.
They can do some weird stuff though, because they can also shoot out their side.
Yes.
That's the weapon platform. Um, so they can shoot out front and side ranks. So it's what, a 270 or something like that angle.
270 degrees of line of sight for shooting purposes.
Yep. Um,
They count as a single stand, and so that's it's two stands put together.
Two
Um,
infantry or cavalry stands
yeah,
together.
in a vertical
Um,
formation. So it's one stand wide, which means it wheels really, really effectively.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so it's
crazy effective.
you can turn like
You get more movement
almost
out of turning
180
than any
degrees.
reform.
Yeah, I think
You
you
get
can
more.
turn almost
Yeah,
100 degrees. Maybe it's even more than that, just from
it's
a
more.
wheel.
It's more than that because I think it's what 4 or 5 inches to do the 90 degree,
Mm, yeah,
if I remember it.
it's wild. It has fire and advance. It's always aiming, so you're. Recently, fire and advance changed. Very,
Right.
very good
Yeah.
change. Um, so if your second action is volley, you can then do another march action, or maybe it's the first march action. Um, but it must be forward now. Previously,
Yes.
you could go backwards or sideways, so you could do this little back and forth dance of like, I move forward, I shoot you, I move back, so you can't hit me back. So this is a good change for ranged threat in the game, toning that down because chariots
I
are
think it
losing
was
it and slingers.
primarily focused at slingers because it
Yeah,
doesn't. It affects chariots, but not to the
not
same
as
degree
much.
as it does slingers. Um, Also worth noting, they have hardened 1 and are defense 3.
Yeah.
They're kind of weirdly tanky.
Yes. 10 wounds. Yeah. I love chariots.
It's silly.
I love. So my favorite thing in the game, whether I'm winning or losing, is if I get a chariot in the back line behind all my opponent's regiments and it's just cruising around doing whatever it wants. I love that so much. Oh, that's a sign of a truly wonderful game.
Yeah, it's. You've also almost rolled the max hits, right? You did what, 15?
Uh, the Scorpios. It's rolling
Scorpios,
8 at effective.
9 at effective.
9 at effective. Oh, I was looking at the flock. Yeah, 9 at
Yeah.
effective. I caused 16 hits on an apex in
So
its
2
wheel.
shy.
Yeah,
That's insane.
that was.
Talk about spikes.
This is not my proudest moment as far as my opponents taking me, but it was funny.
I mean, it only has 15 wounds. Poor Apex.
Command holes, we already talked about those.
Yep.
What does my army do?
We pretty much went over that throughout the whole thing, so
Yeah.
that's that.
I don't think I have any final thoughts. How about you, Stephen?
No, we pretty much went over everything. I think the big thing with this army is they can be beginner friendly. They have a weird skill ceiling, I think. I don't, in the fact that it depends on how good you are with list building and your placement.
But there's definitely a
So
variety of lists you can
yeah,
make with them, which is pretty fun.
there's a lot of ways to play them, and I think that's why they're still my favorite army. Love them. Been playing them, what, 2 years now that they've been out?
Yeah. Both Steve and I have been playing them since they've been out.
Yep.
It's the faction that drew me into the game. Steven, yours was Weavers, but I think City States has.
No, it
has
was
one also.
City States. It was City States first.
Yeah.
I
City
didn't
States first,
start
but
to
yeah.
like Weavers. I didn't start to like Weavers until I read their lore. But I voted for City States. But people wanted undead Romans for some reason.
Yeah.
Weirdos.
Yeah. So that's it for this little outro. If you follow my channel, I don't make a lot of content because I just can't be bothered. I'm considering making more content. What I'm thinking about making is like reviewing lists or concepts or stuff like that. So if you have things you want to see, a Conquest channel, I pretty much just only do Conquest. Do hit the comments. I'm polar painting and gaming, but generally I don't enjoy making painting content because it's very tedious, in my opinion, and it distracts me from actually doing the painting. So I prefer to focus videos more on the gaming aspect. So if you got things you'd like to see, let me know. If it's city-states focused, I will probably be all over that because they're my main faction.
Yep.
So that's
Heck yeah.